Welcome back to Snake Eater. So yeah, now we're in the torture room.
Ooh, we're about to get to Neil Druckmann's favorite part.
Moving on.
Yeah, actually, let me talk something that was trying to mention in the previous part, because again, this is basically just Snake being tortured. Again, it's interesting the bit of subversion that the game had when it came to revealing that Rykov and Volgin were in apparently a relationship, although again, considering what kind of man Volgin is, it's all about raises a legitimate question.
Who's chastising the villain for torture?
I think the boss.
The boss, I think.
You're one to talk, you betrayed the guy!
Dweebs, there are different shades of evil.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Dweebs, while she betrayed him, she never actually opted to torture him to this.
It was a form of mental torture being betrayed.
Well, I'm not particularly blaming the game for this, because it was more of a habit that was just common in the media at the time. This has also the slight unfortunate effect of having at least not prominent, but in this case having an LGBT plus character instead of being the psychotic kind of villain. Like I said, I don't think it was really the intention of the media, in this case the game, but it's just a thing that happened.
Okay, to be fair, it's not like we can never have any media that has,
No, but you have to remember, Jova, that it was kind of a thing that particularly also Hollywood loved to do, like,
I mean,
what is your target?
I mean, since this game references James Bond, there was a henchman gay couple in 1971 where, by the standards of 1971, they did a decent job of communicating that they're not bad guys because they're gay for each other. They're bad guys because they kill people.
Yeah,
didn't Pussy Galore also
Diamonds Are Forever.
Yes. A girl lover, at least.
You might be thinking
there
about
was that bit where, yeah.
But no, I think I agree with Dweebs' assessment here. Like, sure, he is a psychotic villain, but he's not a psychotic villain just because he's gay.
No, his sexuality has nothing to do with his evilness.
He's just a crazy bastard.
Alright, now again, we're about to get to some torture. It's interesting because the main stuff is the electrocution, because Snake has been doused in water and everything.
Yeah.
But combined with the plaque on the head.
And now, young Snake,
Pay the price for your lack of vision.
Yeah, and now, young Snake, you will die.
Unfortunately, Big Boss doesn't have really a father he can, appeal to.
This is yet another thing. Basically, Shiroi, they're doing the Star Wars thing where the Emperor takes bolts of lightning and tortures Luke. That's the basic thing.
Very controlled too. It's a very actual deliberate type of torture.
The basic point is they think that he's after the Philosopher's Legacy. For those who forgot, that's the big, valuable currency that everybody's after.
And meanwhile, also just thinking, this is my life now.
Poor David hates his throat doing all that screaming, man.
And yeah, that's also understandable.
That's what I want to see.
Well, just like Snake, I can't see any of this either.
Well, you can.
Volgin, is that what you want to see? People
Let me double check something real
themselves?
quick. Okay, never mind then.
He's not going to talk.
Yeah, you should just probably kill him.
It's up until 4:45. Okay.
Trained by me.
Alright, fine, then we'll break you then, Zap!
Admit it. We're after the location of the legacy.
Didn't you just hear what she said?
Let me just say this.
Earlier?
That too, yeah. Let me just describe something for Shiroi since she's not looking. Basically, Shiroi, while watching this, Eva turns away because she can't look at it and being tortured. So that's a nice way to communicate.
Anyone can look at this.
Similar also to Ocelot, the only one who's actually still countable relatively to see is the boss.
Okay,
Even the boss is looking away.
I got a second. Wait a minute. So the Getaway had to re-release itself after its initial release to censor a scene of a character being tortured by electricity cables, and yet this didn't, and it only came out 2 years after the Getaway did. So what the hell, whoever made that decision, guys?
Also, Dweebs, not to mention, Dweebs, games like Manhunt and GTA were constantly criticized by soccer moms for this. you know, for this kind of thing.
Oh, hold on.
You know.
They found Snake's
How does
transmitter.
this game not?
Responsible for this.
How does this game get away with?
Yeah. Also, it's
Not
like
me.
I don't fucking know.
Alright, you can look now, Shiroi.
I plan
Okay,
to
okay.
keep track
Oh,
of
okay.
things.
So apparently I think the one who was actually telling Volgin to stop was actually Eva, not the boss, because we see that the boss actually
Yeah.
enters in to the room later.
Yeah.
Themselves slaughtered.
Yeah,
So in
but
that case, Dwibs, your complaints would probably be best directed to Eva instead of the boss. And again, as far as we know, Eva doesn't have as much reason to
So
kill.
yeah,
as I
even
said
the boss has
earlier,
to
yeah.
show burden of proof.
it's also Kojima conveying that that Eva does, at the very least from what I can tell so far, does indeed
What do you want me to
care
do?
somewhat for Snake, even if we don't know
Alright,
exactly
this
what
is
her full deal
important,
is yet.
Volgin wants the proof of her loyalty.
Oh boy.
Out his eyes.
Wow.
Oh shit.
I mean, Konami did made the Saw video games, I guess.
There's nothing more important to a soldier than his eyes. You made him a soldier,
Well-
and now you will unmake him. Yes, it'll make for a touching display. He's all yours. Do it! Ruin him, just as he did the Cobras.
Hey, the Cobras made the first strike, man.
And they
Consider
kinda
it self-defense.
The Cobras are lying in the bed that they made, Volgin.
Also, he didn't really kill the
Pedro,
end.
I think they're lying just there and here and just up in that tree
I'm
somewhere.
not sure where the Fury is lying, though.
Oh
Remember, they
boy,
got-
and you can...
They were blown up when they died.
Yep.
How are you still holding up?
More like hi, more like I.
Hey Shiroi, we usually talk about the whole boy suffering in anime. How does this fare up there when it comes to?
Stop!
What is it?
Okay.
Well,
Alright.
shit.
He's suffered enough.
Well, well. Why are you protecting him?
It's a good question.
Yeah, the smell from before too.
Stop sniffing people! It's weird!
Ocelot's weird,
Scott?
Shiroi.
to say
I
the
know,
least.
just stop sniffing people.
Shiroi, look, he's like a dog. This is how he detects that if people are good for him or bad.
I know that smell.
I recognize that smell. I recognize
Oh.
the smell of the motorcycle
Yeah.
that you
Yeah,
used to hit
but
me with.
hands off. Hands off.
A lot?
No, I have no interest in this woman.
That's just how I say hello.
Alright, let's do the shit from before, because apparently we have time to waste on this.
I'll let this be the judge.
Do as you like.
I'm going on break.
Now
Well,
watch
literally,
this.
Volgin is just exiting the roof currently for this.
Alright, so, let's play
Actually,
a little
no,
game.
my bad, I forgot, sorry.
Nope.
Yep.
He's just gonna keep going till he shoots her.
Wow. Yeah, about that.
Ow.
Oh.
And now you know why Big Boss only has one eye.
How could you do that to Senpai?
I was just doing what the big boss asked.
Because
Hey, look,
Ocelot fucked up.
Hey look. Think about it like this, okay? You couldn't kill me because that would cause a time paradox. I took out your eye so that we won't have a time paradox. So in the sense, I saved us all. I
Very
honestly
bad.
think I did not
Yes,
screw up,
you see,
okay?
Ocelot is actually the hero. Little did you know, Dwibs.
Yes.
Of course, it's like in Sonic 2 8-bit where Eggman saves Sonic.
Actually, you have no idea. And again, just want to remind you, these two go on to become amazing friends. Big Boss's right-hand man is the guy who took his eye. How's that for some messed up stuff?
It's really
Well, he took my right eye, so I need someone to see my right hand.
the ultimate form of expression.
I, a character where they actually do take the right guy and not the left.
I. You said I again, Shiwi.
Well, sure, it's because most people aren't cruel. They know most people prefer the right over the left.
I'm
Well,
not gonna touch that.
I gotta say though, despite losing his eye, in the future, Big Boss does an amazing job at keeping his big vision. Oh wait,
I think you phrased that badly.
Oh, what, you want to shoot the other one while you're at it?
Oh.
Oh.
What the fuck is that?
144.
Are you rating her aim or some
144.
shit?
No, Shiroi. No, Shiroi. Notice the number 144.75. That's a radio frequency.
Yeah, but who the hell was that?
The cameraman, of course.
I've prepared an escape route for us.
Also, does anyone else want to shoot me while they're at it?
Eva, you would want to have a go at it while you're on?
No. Eva's actually trying to help.
Everyone else has had a turn.
Well, let's see. One
shoot.
in the eye, one in the side. Why don't you shoot him in the leg while you're at it?
Well, that's the thing, Shiroi. Eva's the only one here who's trying to help him, so...
I've got your equipment.
I mean, to be... Okay.
We'll meet up later.
I mean, hey, Ocelot didn't mean to shoot him. He got in the way.
You were in my way, sir.
Get too close to your cell.
So yeah, Snake will have to do most of the work himself.
Sorry, but remember, she's
business
still in
as
covert.
usual.
Remember, she's in covert, so she can't do much, otherwise she'll be discovered, so...
Hell, she pretty much almost blew up her cover with this.
Yeah.
So.
Remember, Ocelot is very suspicious of her, so she's already pushing it enough as it is.
Oh, Snake. Bit of a rough day, huh?
Yep.
I don't even know who you are.
come on, Snake. Come on, Snake. The boss has told you to take you to his cell. The eyes have
Alright,
it.
and now let's go take a moment and take a look at the PS2 version real quick. Why am I doing that, you may ask? Because
Sorry, go on.
the remaster took out this particular part that we're going to see.
Snake?
So if you go back in, so when you go into the prison and you save, something happens. Let's take a look.
Observe.
My God, save files go back as far as 2006.
He has some special timed ones.
Snake?
My mouth hurts when I talk.
I mean,
Did you get
that's
cut out?
understandable.
Well,
Someone shoved me under a lawnmower. Do me a favor. Tell me a story to take my mind off the pain.
Snake, have you ever heard of Renfield?
oh boy.
Movie?
It's the name of a character.
Actually, there is a movie called Renfield now in the
Eating
future.
spiders that crawl along the walls.
Change the channel.
For ages. Finally, just as he's beginning to forget whether he's human or not, the master comes for him, saying the time has come.
And so have
Renfield is
I.
overjoyed.
Wait, isn't this...
The master spreads his huge wings and a gust of wind fills the cell.
Come on, I don't want to hear this.
And there, standing before Renfield in human form was...
Dracula!
Exactly! If you stay there too long, your old buddy Dracula's going to come...
You're talking crazy, paramedic.
I mean, I play Castlevania, just hit the head and you're good to go.
I mean, honestly, an actual...
After listening to the vampire story, you should exit the game and load the save, and something will happen, basically.
Just let me know if you start having nightmares about Dracula.
Vampires in Metal Gear. Can you even imagine?
So instead of normally getting back to the game, this happens.
Yep. Basically, sure, what we get from that Dracula story is a Snake has a nightmare, and we get to play that nightmare where he plays as Renfield, basically.
Now, I don't know the entire story. If I understand correctly, the Ulva Legend of Zelda that, goes around by this is that this was a game that Konami was developing but scrapped, and this was the only thing that they had in production at the time.
I honestly could see this being a scrapped Castlevania game.
Yeah, it checks out a bit with with the designs of the 1064 games. I don't remember how much was before this Lament of Innocence and Curse of Darkness.
I would like to also take this moment to thank the YouTube channel Truth Manias for this footage, because it's very convenient. Because that way I wouldn't have to play for the entire game on the PS2 version.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Credits link to his channel in the description.
I wouldn't be surprised if the reason they got rid of this in the HD version was partly because, again, like Tio suggests, this could have been for like a scrap game, and when that scrap game never came to be, there might have been some patents held on by the companies. They couldn't have this footage in the later version of the game or whatnot.
Again, as you can see, for proof of concept stuff, there is still quite a bit. But at the same time, it's not really that much. It's really just a room with a lot of destroyable objects and a couple of basic enemy types. Just one model recycled for a while.
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, is that you?
No. Well, I will actually segue into something Platinum related. This actually reminds me of the development diaries that Platinum had when talking about Nier Automata, where we would showcase 2B acting in just one room against a bunch of basic enemies, like copy-pasted, just to see the capabilities of what their acting slash, were developing. I'm kind of reminded of that, especially because the quality of the models is actually not really that bad. So this doesn't really scream to me alpha test, So I do wonder.
It depends. Like, they could have. Okay, this character looks like he has. This character looks like he has a similar stance to how Snake does. I wonder if they used models from Metal Gear Solid 3 and just mainly dressed up characters in them while adding in these hack and slash mechanics. Like, again, funnily enough, this feels like a precursor to Revengeance, where the main gimmick of that game is your sword can slice through just about almost anything. Sometimes even to a detriment where you can accidentally soft-lock yourself out of a sequence if you accidentally cut too much.
Yeah, there's not much to explore. It's just combat, basically.
Not really, Drova, because again, like if you mean something like cutting off a ledge or something, a stair or something, Raiden can just climb walls.
I'm pretty sure there was that one scene where
what you can, not soft block, but what you can screw up with the cutting is when you have to have missions where you rescue hostages. Yes, that actually can happen instead, where you're too careless. And Doctor and the others will call you out.
I could have sworn there was some sequence where you can accidentally soft block your stuff if you get too cut happy, but I might be misremembering.
While this is going on, Shiroi, you didn't answer my question earlier.
What did you ask?
We constantly talk about in anime. Like you talk about specifically about in anime, boys suffering in anime and shit like that. How does this fare up in terms of specifically Snake suffering in this game?
This do be like one of them Japanese animes.
Yeah. Remember Shiroi. That's what Otacon said in the first Metal Gear Solid. Oh, it's just like one of the.
That was the point.
Okay.
Also, yes, you apparently have a Devil Trigger equivalent. This was, if I recall correctly, after the first Devil May Cry at the very least. I forgot if it was also after 2 and 3 or in between one of them.
So let's go back a bit though. Remember that scene with the boss? We saw what looked to be a very odd man behind the boss who shows us what is essentially a call code frequency. So, what's the dealio with that guy, you might be wondering?
Yeah,
we'll get back to that.
That's not important.
The second and last rage state transforms into some kind of werewolf-esque monster, like so.
Of course it does.
Oh god, the blur.
It's meant to.
The lion sound.
They're trying to do they're trying to do the same thing that they do in the Twilight movies, where they create this filter in the blur to try to show how intense the werewolf shit is, and
but it looks like it's breaking that poor PS2.
And even the enemies get molded in a more graphical manner. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, the Altered Beast, the gritty reboot, had been already released at this point. I don't think it was released in America.
Basically, Shiroi, since this particular nightmare sequence was removed from the HD remaster, so were all the codec calls related to it. Fortunately, Troopmandias here put up this really good 4K upload from from running the game on PCSX2 with widescreen hack even.
And also
so we can
all the informations we know.
So we can all watch. So this will be preserved at the very least in video form.
In most cases, I would be a bit perturbed that this was removed in the HD version, but this is one of those cases where I'm not too broken up about it because, okay, without the context of it potentially being tied to, a scrapped game. This is a big-lipped alligator in its absolute essence, even for Metal Gear standards, because this has pretty much no bearing to the plot whatsoever.
Well, that being said, it is important to remember that this is optional. As long as you don't save during this part, you will not see this. So you can skip this if you don't want to. If you don't want to go for
This
this.
is a gigantic Easter egg.
Basically, yeah.
Which is neat, but again, like, well, compared to other stuff, I'm not as sore about us losing this in HD version. It is a shame it had to go, but like, you know, again, it's like, it's kind of a thing like, well, oh well.
The main reason why I'm showing... Sorry. Go on.
And in some ways, I do feel a bit like the HD version flows better without it. Like, yes, I know you can skip it, but all the same, it's there and it's weird and will leave you absolutely questioning so
What the hell
much
was that?
in regards to it.
Well, it's a nightmare, so you're supposed to be like Snake. Like, you just had this really fucked up weird nightmare and you're like, what the fuck was that? So that's kind of the point.
If I may, I feel like Metal Gear Solid 4 had kind of a bit of a better idea on how to play weird
Oh, no,
dreams, because
definitely.
that dream ties
No,
into what's
definitely.
going on.
Like, no, Metal Gear Solid 4 is probably the best use of a nightmare sequence I've ever seen in a game. That's not even a debate. But that being said, the main reason why I'm showing it is not so much because of the Easter egg itself, because I also personally don't care much for this. It's fine, I guess, but I might as well just be playing Devil May Cry. But what I do want to show, what was indeed a shame, was the codec calls we get after this, because the codec calls related to after the nightmare were also removed, because, you know, obviously you'd have to remove them because it wouldn't make sense for the characters to be talking about something that never actually happened in the HD remaster, right? But we get some really cool codec calls after this, so and I wanted to show those. So
that was a bear stock sound effect.
yep.
So they went from lion to bear.
Basically, he's showing off
Like I
the
said,
color.
considering this is more of like a demo proof of concept or anything, I can understand if the enemies had, stock sound effects to represent, potentially stuff.
Basically, they are showing off all the very aspects of the gameplay. So.
The entire reason why instead I do care is because this is actually fascinating. We never really got that much of an official response.
No, but that's sure. Like, the developers never actually explained why this is here and where did this idea even come from. It's here,
nasty.
and we still have no idea. I mean, surprisingly, nobody ever asked Regiment in an interview.
And again, later on, Konami, one of the people that worked with Kojima, I forgot exactly his name, but I did mention when he showed up at E3, did work on a proper hack and slash game called Never Dead. That copy is still haunting me on my library, and I dare not to touch it for now. Sorry.
Okay, what happened there?
I told, well, if your memory is hazy, Joe, but rewatch our commentary of the Konami free conferences. I mentioned all I have to there.
Oh, yeah. Now it's coming back to me.
Alright, and yeah, this cutscene, as well as every special codec conversation after the nightmare, is only present in the PS2 version of the game.
What a horrible night to have occur, Snake.
Isn't that bullet still in his eye?
It grazed it. It's kind of like what.
No, the bullet only grazed it. It didn't actually go into the
what happened
body.
in Last of Us Part 2. It just grazed it on an angle. I know that
But it was
Oh, no, that's the thing.
enough to pretty much.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up, because in here, the way the scene is directed, I can actually see that. In the way it's directed in Part 2, I couldn't even begin to see that was what happened.
Sorry, Part 2 of what now?
Last of Us Part 2.
The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Hey, God! No one told me. No one told me
wish.
that he had a communicating device in his ear.
Oh, you see the cutscene before, they allowed him to be kept on even in the torture.
Yeah.
Imagine, if you will, your internal.
Yeah, I'm guessing Volgin is so evil that he wants his colleagues to hear his screams.
I'm more surprised the codex survived the voltage.
I
Because it
feel
was
in a dream.
I'm still in a nightmare, more like.
No,
I don't
Pedro,
think
it's like that the Captain America 60s cartoon where you get this super close-up Steve face and he's like, I'm in an impossible fantasy world right now.
That's not as okay, that's not as catchy, but that would fit a That would fit a horror remake of this game. I'm still in a nightmare.
You know, the sad thing is like, well, in regards to the dream, all they could have done was just replace it with Snake referencing stuff like, I saw a weird hooded man behind the boss,
yeah.
which no one else saw.
Sure, no.
The last thing
Shut up.
is a double feature. It was surreal. I was being attacked by a horde of weird human-like monsters. What's wrong with me?
You just had a bad dream.
Persecution complex, probably triggered by extreme stress. The external stimulus of the room is...
I've got a different theory. I think it was caused by your...
Or maybe it was caused by literally all the wounds you have received
I
today.
didn't know you were that sensitive to it. I mean, who'd have thought, Drac?
Up.
Sorry, that just slipped out, I swear.
Okay.
Snake, don't
Okay,
be
you know what you
mad.
have to do, Konami? Crossover between Castlevania and Metal Gear at some point.
I mean,
So
they already have
then-
Smash Bros. So.
I'm glad. Snake,
Oh god, yeah. Although, so now Snake
Doesn't
actually...
count.
You'll find it.
Well, there's also that weird Smash clone that also includes Optimus Prime.
Alright. Let's see what Sigan has to say about it.
Snake, you okay?
Yeah, I had a terrible dream.
No kidding. What happened?
I don't want to think about it. I was
But
being
yeah,
attacked
if we
by
count
monsters
Smash,
like
Snake
humans.
actually has met
I'm not even
Dracula.
sure if I was really dreaming.
At least it was just a dream. It's all over when you wake up.
Wake
Or
up to
does
nice...
it?
When you think
Dun,
about
dun,
it,
dun.
a situation worse than the one you're in now means life can't be all that bad.
I sure hope so.
Guess.
I lost an eye.
You about the absolute
Well,
worst,
that's the good
sickening
news. It
nightmare
can't
I
get
ever
any
had.
worse from here,
This
buddy.
isn't one
Well,
of
you
Okay,
still
let's-
have the
let's
other
hear it.
one.
So there's this big pile of crap, right? It's shaped like a giant tank, and it's walking around on two legs, going on a rampage, and stomping on people and houses and stuff.
Metal
And
Gear?
this giant turd is carrying the nastiest...
Oh god, he is
you
literally
ever saw.
describing Metal Gear
Whenever it
Rex.
launches one
No
of its
wonder
Well, it's a
this
piece of
guy...
shit.
But in
Whatever
Yeah.
it hits,
turd
people,
form.
trees,
You know,
turns into
this
shit.
explains why he had to die in
My
Metal Gear
hometown,
Solid
my
1.
old school, my family, my girlfriend, old man John.
Who's Old Man John?
everything in that turd's
Old man John.
That's pretty sick, man.
Good thing it was just a dream, huh?
Just a dream.
Right.
Again, he more or less described Metal Gear Rex with that
Let's get down to
What
description.
is a turd?
so-
You see, Snake, people are
Yeah.
just shit, and they're full of
Pretty
heart.
shitty
Fill
dream.
'em up with water, and
Okay,
it's gotta
yeah,
come out
no,
from
I
somewhere.
legit have to ask, what was
Okay, maybe
Kojima
that was a
on
bad
when he
example.
wrote
What I'm
that?
trying to say is, no
Maybe
matter
this is
what
an actual
situation,
dream he
there's
had.
always a way out.
Wouldn't be too
He had a
surprised.
dream of...
Is that
Clear your mind.
Yeah,
is that where that lyric, is that where that line in the song "I'm Still in a Dream" came from?
Yeah.
maybe.
No, Kojima dreamed of Metal Gear as a giant
Well,
turd
remember,
destroying everything.
James Cameron's idea for Terminator came from a fever nightmare he had. So...
Wow. So from that fever nightmare spawned a money-making
But yeah, Snake actually
franchise.
contemplated also the idea of being having, in the wise words of Asterix, someone's leaping him a Mickey.
Although it's not very helpful. I was telling this other guy that I was still in a dream, and for some reason he sang at me, "Snake Eater."
Maybe one day
It's gonna be your thing for a while, John.
Huh?
The guy couldn't even sing.
You feel, Snake. I'm a spy too.
Why does everyone gotta make fun of my
But
diet?
The fake you is eating away at the real you. The person you're pretending to be is becoming the person you are.
Eva, that sounds
And the real
pretentious.
you is
That's nonsense,
screaming out from
Eva.
Somewhere deep inside. That's what you saw in your dream.
No, I saw in my dream a guy hacking, slashing demons. Like, that implies we're actually gonna have something as stupid as zombies in this franchise. That would truly
pick your
be
favorite
a
song and I'll
dinosaur.
sing it in your head. And sing it in your head. Snake Eater?
Hashtag relationship goals.
Get yourself a girl who's willing to sing for you over the radio.
In your head.
Alright, requests, guys. What's your pick?
Let's save.
You ready to save, Snake?
Yeah, I think Snake could use a bit of a break.
Yep.
Hopefully with less nightmares.
Just gotta do
Yeah,
something
yeah.
about...
I mean,
Just gotta
yeah.
do something... Just gotta do something about the phantom pain of his eye.
Snake.
right.
I know the perfect game to hey, I know the perfect way for Snake to unwind. He can play Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Oh no, wait, no.
All right, everybody. So that was the deleted content from the HD version. Next time we'll get back to the story. See you then.
So yeah.